Hey, this is BlindFox and welcome at my review of Medal of Honor Pacific Assault. Please subscribe to my channel. Please go and donate to me at patreon.com. I'll be doing this video in two parts. Introduction, little chat, look at all the menus, and then the first mission or the training mission, and then the next one with some of the other gameplay. When you start the game, you can see you are in your tent, there's some people sitting about, there's some furniture. Unlike the other previous one, it's not an office and you don't interact really with the furniture stuff here. This is just sort of a background. In the background you can hear radio. Let's check out the option menu. You've got video, where you can set stuff, audio, where you can set your master volume. You can hear the radio there in the background. You can check out your controls. Some of the controls changed. For example, okay, these are the same. You only have 2 weapons now. You can't carry so much weapons. You've got explosives and grenades and binoculars. So only the first 5 keys work. Previously your interaction key or use key was E. It's now F. Your movement keys are the same. E and Q are lean left, lean right, which weren't in the single player option. You can crouch, you can lay down. Intelligence. You've got movies. This is just some of the in-game movies.
Dear Dad, sorry I haven't written in a while, but I'm back in action again. It's been nearly 8 months since they...
Not gonna watch everything, just gonna show you.
There's a fungus among us. So says Military Health Services. If any GI is experiencing chills or fever, it's advised that you report.
This one is basically just the entrance one, and then there's all over the, as far as I got. You've got some pop-up facts that you can put on, but it's sort of annoying in gameplay.
So I get down to the sick bay for my vaccinations, and there's these 2 nurses standing there, you know, giving everyone their shots. And one of these dames looks like Grable. I mean, wow, long legs. But the other one looks like Gable, complete with pencil mustache. I'm not kidding you, fellas. So I get in line, and all the time I'm thinking, oh God, I volunteered for this tour. Give me the one that looks like Grable. So I get up near the front of the line, and the only guy in front of me is this scrawny little kid with freckles and wire brush for hair. And this little bastard's gonna get Grable. I mean, her uniform is sticking way out to here. Ain't no way I'm gonna get stuck with Rhett Butler in a dress. So the gorgeous dame turns to Freckleface and asks him if he's afraid of needles. I tell you, fellas, wherever this kid is from, all the women must be flat-chested, because all he can do is stare at her with his mouth hanging open. So I shove him aside and I tell Grable that a real Marine ain't afraid of no pointy objects. Just then Gable steps up, shoves a needle in my arm and says, a real Marine has enough manners to wait in line. And I turn to her and say, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
It's just a little funny story that is told in the beginning of the credits. To exit all these menus, you just click on the escape button
If any GI is experiencing chills or
This is just
fever,
quit,
it's
that
advised
quit the
you
game.
report to your regimental aid station to be looked at.
We've got multiplayer mode, which I can't do since I don't have other people to play with.
And salt tablets prior to or after excessive perspiration. This has been a report
You
from
can do
the
LAN
Military
only,
Services, Mitchell Rollins.
and you've got a lot of choices there. There's not anything interesting like uniforms that I've seen.
Radio is brought to you by Trident Cookery and Kitchenware. For quality you can count on, it's Trident. Safe, economical.
Let's check out single player.
That's the Trident way. Some
This is the new
innovations
game
coming in
button.
from overseas. With that news,
This is the save load button. Again, like some of the other
It's been a little over 3 months and the battle
Medal of Honor, you only have one mission name at the time here. You can't have two missions of the same name.
Jap naval forces while suffering substantial losses. The Lexington was lost to this campaign, but the Yorktown was
These are just all the missions I've done.
was activated for another US naval
At the moment I'm stuck here. The first time I played the game, I think completed it. I just can't seem to get past this place now.
First Marine divisions are heading to the island of Guadalcanal. As that, little information has been given to us by the OWI for reasons of
And you will hear the news and stuff at the background.
This is Michael Davis reporting.
this is World News
We've
Radio
got some
on
statistics,
AFR. We'll be back.
a summary, every results. This is your boot camp. I completed all the hidden objectives. You just have to shoot a perfect score. And it will tell you a bit about the medals. Why did you? (15 after 57). This is a very long stage, this Guadalcanal. I think there's a glitch here somewhere with these hidden objectives, because I completed one and it doesn't show yet. This is just the end one. You get a medal for completing this game on easy mode, medium, difficult and realistic. You can't see all the medals if you haven't unlocked the missions yet. Something that this game had that the others did not is hero moments. You can see here the white is completed hero moments. And the... sorry, my cat is interfering. And the greyish one is one I have not yet completed. If you click on one you have, you will zoom into it.
Nice shooting, Davy Crockett. Like hitting fish in a barrel, huh?
There still appears to be an ongoing conflict
And get a little
while the primary attack on Macon
cinematic.
2nd Marine Division. We are now getting reports that the 27th
They said there's a truck coming. They're gonna move that gun.
Nice work. Tommy.
Escape doesn't work to exit the year, so if you click on this, you have to complete the whole listening to the hero moment.
There still appears to be an ongoing conflict with the Japs at the Macon Atoll. Well,
Thanks, Private. You better get on one of those dead guns.
These hidden objectives and hero moments does make the game more interesting.
There's a fungus among us, so says Military Health Services. If any GI is experiencing chills...
And some of these radio ads are quite funny. This again a little...
I'm good. Let's get out of here. There still appears to be an ongoing conflict.
The hidden objectives and the hero moments does make the game a bit more interesting. Especially all the some of the radio or cinematic stuff.
From the OWI on these events and will relay them as they become available. This is Frank Turner reporting.
So let's try and see what happens if we do a new game.
World News Radio is brought to you by Trident Cookery and Kitchenware.
You can see like the others, you can choose between
Safe,
easy,
durable. That's the Trident way. Some new events are coming in from
Normal,
overseas. With that
medium,
news, here's Mitchell Rollins.
hard, and realistic.
It's been a little over 3 months, and the battle...
It doesn't matter which ones you choose, the basic training is the same. Doesn't matter if you choose hard, medium, or... We're just gonna do easy because there isn't really a difference.
The Lexington was lost to this campaign.
Unlike the other, unlike the first Medal of Honor and these extensions, you don't start with basic training. You sort of get a flashback. This stage just lasts until you die. So the quicker you die, the quicker your basic training begins. You don't get any medals for this. There's no hero moments in this. This is just your entrance.
If you keep that up, there won't be no island left to walk on.
That's just fine with me. Yeah, no way anybody's still alive on that joint.
Wouldn't count on that if I was you. Any of you new guys feel like throwing up? Word of advice, do it now. 3-week wonders. That's what we called the new guys. That's all the training they got, and it wasn't enough. It usually didn't last very long. No matter how much training you got or how strong you are, when you strap up and step on a battlefield for the first time, it changes you forever. Terror was just another strip of sand out in the middle of nowhere, but for many of us, it'll be the last thing we ever saw.
Tommy! I'll see you on the beach!
No pictures. It seems Hearst is none too fond of radio writer turned director Orson Welles. Hearst claims Welles' new film...
This is what I want to show you.
...taking inflammatory shots at him personally.
I just escaped to show you this. See the Terror stuff moved from the bottom here to the top here. And the medals just went blank.
I'm Walter Brennigan, and this is World News Radio. World News Radio is brought to you by Apex Electric Refrigeration.
Also, the hero moments are also blank now.
Frozen food storage, it's Apex Electric
I think if you load this one again, you might get back all your stuff. I'll check later
World
on.
News Radio is brought to you by shortwave broadcasts, direct from overseas stations and news centers in our own country. With the latest news...
doesn't really matter if you fail or survive this bit, since the objective here is basically to die. But just for practice. Something I don't like about this one is the health bar. It's not as nice as the previous ones. This does have an indicator on if you are standing or not. As I said, the objective here isn't really to do anything much. It's just a little introduction. You will die, doesn't matter what you do. You can't leave this part of the beach, doesn't matter what you do. You are sort of stuck here until you get yourself dead. You can see these Japanese, they are quite vicious. They're not like the Germans that will stand so that you can just shoot them. They will actively run to you and attack you and get you with their bayonets. To make them a lot more difficult to kill, since for example, Germans sort of try to stay away from you, but here these guys don't really care. This is basically just you just die here. This is what you want. You want to die as quickly as possible. Every time you die...
Worm and scumbag. Just a few of the names I was given by my beloved drill instructor in the summer of 1941. Before then, my biggest problem was delivering groceries and not breaking the eggs. Now every time I turn around, some crazy Jap's trying to gut me. I remember asking the recruitment officer, "What's the deal with you guys?" I swear to God, he looked right through me and he said, "Deal? We're Marines, son, and we deal in lead." Next thing I knew, I was on a train for San Diego, soldiering for the Corps, boot camp.
Every time you die, you either get your sergeant or your drill sergeant yelling at you, or your family or your girlfriend telling you to come back safe. This is the real start of training. The music in this game is quite good, and this part is excellent.
Shine, ladies! Beauty sleeps over! Front and center! Do you understand me? In the beginning was God. All else was darkness. So God created the heavens and the earth. He divided the earth between land and sea, and these he filled with many assorted creatures. The dark, slimy creatures of the oceans God called sailors, and he dressed them accordingly. The flighty creatures of the air he called airmen, and these he clothed in uniforms which were ruffled and foul. The lower creatures of the land God called soldiers, and he gave them trousers too short, covers too long, and pockets to warm their hands. And on the seventh day, as you know, God rested. And on the eighth day, at 0500 hours, God looked down upon the earth and was not happy. God was not happy! So he thought about his labors, and in his infinite wisdom, God created a divine creature, and this he called a Marine. And these Marines, whom God created in his own image, were to be of the air, the land, and the sea. And these he gave practical, fighting uniforms, so that they could wage war against the forces of Satan and evil. And he gave them evening and dress uniforms, so they might score with the ladies on Saturday night and impress the hell out of everybody. And at the end of the eighth day, God looked down upon the earth and saw that it was good. But was God happy? No! Because in the course of his labors, he had forgotten one thing. He did not have a Marine uniform, but he thought about it and satisfied himself in knowing that, well, not everybody can be a Marine. This puts me one step above God, because I am a Marine. You remember that, and we'll get along just fine. Now you maggots have exactly 3 minutes until I expect you standing at attention outside. Fall out!
Whew. He scares me, Frank. I think maybe he is God.
Well, Jimmy, just keep your head down and do what he says, and we won't have to find out. Willie, you coming?
Oh, yeah, Frank. Oh, hey, Tommy, right? Tommy Conlon? My name's Willie Gaines. This here's Frank Minoso and Jimmy Sullivan. Where are you from, Tommy?
Oregon. You?
Guys, let's head out. We don't want to piss off God, do we?
Frank is sort of the boss of the lot, and Willie is sort of the idiot sometimes.
Today is the day we separate the men from the girls. You little cutes will learn the basic necessities for survival, and then maybe, I said maybe, you will become a part of the United States Marine Corps. Are you ready?
Aye, Sergeant!
Now,
I do like these incomplete huts.
you are to sit tight and wait for
It
your
looks so
babysitter to show up. I am not him.
in
It was
transition.
fun. I want to see you ladies hightail it
Build
over
up
my obstacle course
before the
bomb and
war.
double. Move out! I want to see nothing but asses and elbows, ladies.
Let's make him proud, boys. Stick together.
You got it, Frank. Come on, Jimmy. Tommy?
It doesn't matter if you are first, you must just pitch with the rest. You are only rated on the firing part of this training, all the rest aren't rated. You basically work with your squad with during the lot of the game.
Navigate over, under, and through. This course will teach you the Marines' way of doing just that. If you think you have a better way, you can leave now and go show your mother. You are government property, so you better do it my way, and you better like it.
Come on, boys. We can do this better than that group. Let's show them what we got.
Now get over that wall. Not bad, ladies. Now run through those tunnels. This here in front of you is the Marines' mud pit. Think of it as your own little swamp. Move out, piggies!
You can see your position is indicated
Now get on your bellies and crawl like the worms you
there on
are.
the bottom right of the screen.
Wire, I will leave you here. Now move it! We don't have all day, sweetheart. Get up and over those ladders.
Well, you can of course just jump down.
Now you're going to learn how to use that rifle that you love so much. Hit those dummies with the butt of your rifle. Get across the pit using the balance board. Double time.
Sergeant! I'm sorry,
You will not apologize. You will continue to destroy the enemy any way you can. What are you turd balls looking at? If the rest of you had half the strength of Private Minoso, I might actually have something to work with. Well, I can't believe you all made it through in one piece. Now let's see how you girls handle the business end of your weapon. Get your butts onto that transport and we'll finish on the firing range. Move it!
Man, what a hard ass. You said it.
You can run over to the transport, but it doesn't work until everybody is there.
Who died and made him boss?
Here for all the rifles, your secondary button, mouse button, is the where you use it to hit someone with.
Welcome to my firing
Your
range. You will listen to
left
every word
alt
I say.
is
I have
the
not lost a single scumbag on my firing
zoom
line,
in
and I will
of your
not
in
lose
your
one
rifle
today.
or with your
You
rifle.
ladies understand me. Now gather up some ammo, pick a spot on the range, and we'll get to work.
Take 1 box each, boys. 1 box each.
You always use, or here you use free. Just make
Aim
sure
at
to shoot
target
the
in front of you.
correct
If you
target.
hit one, and I mean the bullseye, wait for it to be replaced with a new one. If you move, it will not be very accurate. So keep those boots planted. If you nail down, you will be more accurate. And getting down in the dirt is even better. So try all 3 positions. Ready on the right. Ready on the left. Stand by, targets. Fire!
The loadings are quite cool. You can either fire like this, but that's not very accurate. If you zoom in, you can see your, because we are standing, it's a bit more difficult to you can see your position indicator there left. You can kneel. Just shoot the correct target. Or you can lie prone, where your gun is much more steady. Your objectives again. Every time you reload, you must press the, I don't know if it's the zoom or the close, whatever fire button they call it.
targets.
It is important here that you don't fire extra shots, because if you do, you will fail the hidden objective. It can be a bit confusing if you want to line up here. You can see when you do the zoom part, now you've got a sniper scope. And again you see the amount of shots you still have to do. Just don't do an extra shot. Even if you hit the bullseye with it, it will count as an extra shot. So even though you can still shoot, you still have ammo.
That's right, ladies, I'm a crap
Don't.
shot. Just get me over to Germany and me and this rifle will win that war all by our lonesomes.
Talk is cheap, Private, but that's some pretty fair shooting. Let's see what you boots can do with the autos. You four head back to the ammo table and Corporal Bates there will issue you each an M1928A1 Thompson submachine gun. Do not let those rifles hit the dirt, maggots.
The reloading part of this is quite cool. Again, you can lie pro. Here you must only fire 25 shots.
But that does not mean that you should just spray and pray. Take your time to aim and fire the weapon in short bursts only.
So you can move to the right, move to the left while you are lying flat.
Not bad, men, not bad. Fetch your rifles back up and let's move on to the heavier stuff. You forward with the rifles! The MP here will continue to supervise your apparent lack of shooting prowess. Let's go, men.
Hold up, Private. I'm gonna need to take those weapons from you.
First things first. Private Conlon, grab that demolition charge from the table. You'll see behind me that we have some beat-up jalopies. Today, we're gonna blast the living hell out of them. Private Conlon here is gonna get things started. Private, get your sorry tail down there and plant that charge on one of those cars. That thing is live, so watch yourself.
Again, like the previous one, you can see the red isn't sort of flickering. If you have to place a charge, it's red. If you have to interact with stuff, they are red.
Now get your butt back up here, Private!
I think you can get killed here.
Good work, Private Conlon. You may just yet make PFC. Let's move over to the grenade station.
As in the previous ones, the grenade bit is difficult.
All right, pick up a couple grenades. Don't worry, ladies. These are training grenades. You think I would trust you with a real grenade? No! Pull the pin and let them fly. See if you can hit some of those barrels out there.
At least here, if you hit the target, there's white smoke, or in the white smoke stay in there, so you can see which ones you've hit. These two are quite easy. That one, not so much. See, I still have one remaining, and my grenades are up. Like the other one, your aiming crosshairs disappears.
Very well, pond scum.
I think this is my best one.
But it'll do.
Sometimes it does help to aim a bit above the point you want to hit. This guy always takes your stuff away.
Now here we have my personal favorite, the M1919A430 caliber machine gun. I want 2 men. One is to act as a spotter and reloader. The other will fire the weapon.
Come on, Tommy. I'll spot for you. This ain't my cup of tea.
Okay, let her rip, ladies!
If the boys in Germany can shoot,
So you just have to... And you can shoot any target. Really doesn't matter how much rounds you hit. You must just complete the mission.
Alright, pond scum, let's head to the mortars.
You're not rated for accuracy. This mortar part is difficult, because the other guy is quite good.
You may notice we have a fine piece of craftsmanship on the mortar range. Well, you maggots are the first to get a crack at busting that jerry cab into scrap. The first recruit who gets his mortar set up and hits that truck will win my never-ending incredulous surprise. Well done, Private Conlon. Your heavy weapons proficiency has been duly noted.
So it is a good thing to start early with this objective. Somewhere later on in the game you will use mortars.
Now, except maybe for Minoso here, I most seriously doubt any of you will ever be in charge of anything but your own sorry-ass existence. However, there will be times when lives depend on one of you maggots making the right call in the field. I expect each of you to rise to such an occasion. Sullivan, there is a Marine bleeding to death in the open. You cannot reach him without support. Let me hear your call for suppressing fire.
Suppressing fire!
Minoso, you're one aggressive son of a bitch. I bet you'll be charging headlong into hell for the Corps. Let me hear you tell these pansies to move up with you.
move up!
Outstanding. Gaines, you, on the other hand, strike me as someone who'll turn tail and piss himself at the sight of an advancing enemy. Am I right?
No, Drill Sergeant!
Well, ain't that a shame? If the combat situation dictates, you may need to do just that. You are heavily outnumbered, Private, so you better tell your squad mates to fall back.
Fall back!
Good. I don't care if you're sucking face with Rita Hayworth herself. You hear a Marine call out, you best respond. Private Conlon, you are being fired upon. Your squad is out of position. You need to get your fire team back into formation. So let's hear you rally these boys.
Regroup!
Good. Let's go. All right, men. That's enough for today. Good work out there. But oh my God, Gaines! You've just been shot! Hit the deck! I said hit the deck! Now, there's two things to do if and when you are hit by an enemy in combat. Number one, apply pressure to the wound. Next, if you can, call for a corpsman. If you're lucky, one will be around somewhere nearby. Private Sullivan, I understand you have a medical background.
Bleeding, to stop bleeding, it's B, and you have to do it. You can set bleeding on and off. If you don't suppress your bleeding, you will die.
Private Gaines over to Doc to get him patched up, and then hightail it back over here ASAP.
Careful where you squeeze me there, Tommy.
And this is something you will do quite a lot.
Thanks for the ride, Tommy.
Carrying people.
Well done, Private Conlon, but you've just been shot as well. Hit the deck. Apply pressure to that wound, Private, or we will lose you. Now,
this is where the B key comes in. You have to press it the whole time. And then H to call the corpsman. And if he can, he will come and patch you up.
All right, men. Good work today. I do believe that with a little more work, you may have a fighting chance. Let's get scrubbed up for mass. Move out!
You can't exit here. This is the end of basic training. After every main mission thing, you get statistics.
Correspondence as it becomes available. This is Mitchell Rollins reporting.
Let's see how I did. You can see I missed a shot somewhere. But I did complete the others. I can't remember where I missed a shot, but so you can see you can miss stuff. You will see I still don't have the other one, since we haven't started the next mission yet, which we will start here. You can see now the basic training is here at the top. This is the last mission where I was. Let's see if I go back, if I will regain all my stuff. Let's just do a quick save. It's not the last mission. Oops. This is the last mission where I was before we did the basic training part. I'm sort of stuck here at the moment. I can't remember how I passed it the first time years back, but I knew I passed it because I did get to the interesting flying bit.
Heads up! Divers!
We did the save. Let's see if we got our medals back.
There still appears to be an ongoing conflict with the Japs at the Macon Atoll. While the primary attack on Macon consisted of the 2nd Marine Division,
You can see here I've reloaded or quick saved the last mission I was at. And I have got all my original medals back.
I'm Walter Brennigan.
And the hero moments,
World News Radio.
I also have got them
World News
back.
Radio is brought to you by Trident Cookery and Kitchenware. For quality you can count on, it's Trident. Safe, economical, durable. That's the Trident way. Some new events are coming in from overseas. With that news, here's Mitchell Rollins.
This radio, some of the adverts are funny.
3 months and the Battle of the Coral Sea is still being
Some of the other news sort of
keying off the Japs' thirst for
all over the world. You get such little news pieces.
turned around Jap naval forces while suffering substantial losses.
And this is if you are quitting.
But the Yorktown was repaired at Pearl
This
and
game,
activated for another US naval campaign at Midway.
in some cases, stuff is better because you've got a bit more control over your squads. You do a lot of squad work. We'll see that in the next part of this review. It's nice that you can lie prone, which you couldn't do in the others. You could just crouch and stand. It's nice that you have a body indicator or position indicator, so you know what your position is. The health bar, as I said, I like the previous health bar more. I also like the previous compass on the screen more. It was a bit more. This one is a bit. The pointers are a bit small. I really don't like that much. So thanks for watching. Please join me in my next review, where we will do a bit of gameplay. Please subscribe to my channel. Please go and donate some money on Patreon. And see you next time.